I wanted to introduce Lab 03. What you're going to do for this lab is complete 2 programs of code. The first is going to be for a class. This is a resource class. The second is going to be where you have your main method. This is the Lab 03. So 2 distinct labs, right? So climber.java will create a class of climbers and create 1 new method. We'll actually say four new methods. Create 4 new methods. And so we'll look at those methods. You have climb upright, you have climb up left, you have climb down right, and case matters here because you'll be using these methods in other programs, and climb down left. So make sure that your letters are capitalized. I notice that some people are not doing that appropriately. Now, that's your climber.java file. Your lab03.java will create a new instance of climber. That means you will have a distinct instance of climber. So the climber will climb over a mountain, and back. So you'll actually have 2 climbers. So we'll look at that in a second. So climber is a specialized athlete. That means climber is a subclass of athlete. It climbs mountains and finds treasures. Climbers always start on the bottom row, y equals 1, facing north with 1 beeper, but we want climbers to be able to begin at any given x position. So the x value will be passed as an argument in the constructor. Therefore, we will give the climber class a 1 argument constructor as well as a default constructor. How do these 2 constructors work? So remember, robot has a default where it's facing east, it's at 1, 1, and it has 0 beepers. Athlete is a robot, it's a subclass of a robot, and this is the declaration. This is how we create this class, and this is the constructor for athletes, which basically says they start at 1, 1, they display facing north, they display with infinite number of beepers. So here, public athlete has an X and Y location, it faces a direction, has a certain number of beepers. And the super command is used here, indicating what those are. So the climber class is very similar when we first introduced this class. So the lines that we very much need to use will look similar to these lines right here. Okay. Now, pseudocode, which you'll see in the document, it's just a notation resembling a simplified programming language used in programming design. So for example, you might see TL in the notes, and that means turn left. You might see M in the notes, and that means move. So just here's the background page. I pulled it directly from the notes. All right. You will be creating 3 other instance methods, very similar to climb upright. So to climb upright, you have to turn left, move, move, turn right, and move. You will need to experiment with the other 3. Okay? Now I am giving you will have access to a skeleton of of the climber code. Let me see if I can find the skeleton here. Let's close some of this. And I will go scroll down. Climber skeleton. Here you go. All right, so obviously things I want to include, my header, and it gives me a description, so you should be putting in descriptions of these programs. You need to include imports here. You need to declare the file name, which would be climber, and it should extend to athlete. Right here, you would declare public class, climber, and use that for constructor argument. At line 10, where it says constructor, you're going to create the constructor for climber. If you don't remember, it's very similar to here, but there are certain specifications, such as right here. So you can use this code to help you do that, okay? And the super defaults from athlete, so you don't have to include anything there, but specifically it starts at 1 at the very bottom at any x value. Now here you would create your method for climbing upright. So the precondition is you face towards the east in front of a wall. You want to go 2 levels up, 1 to the east, so that means I would turn left and move, then turn right to face east, and then I'm facing east. Okay, so it gives you some hints about how you can create these methods. You can also look at the map, but I'm going to go ahead and do a demo for you after I go through these last couple things. So for the climber, the only demo we have would be that it's not to look at the maps, but this is a picture of the maps. But the climber, it does not run, it's just a resource for Lab03 to run. So when I compile this, what I want to see at the bottom is I want to see operation complete with no errors. All right, so if you need me to, I will go ahead and run Lab03, but it's going to be a different video. So you can see both of these climbers, there's 2 climbers. They first climb up right, and they're going to climb down right. Turn back around, climb up left, climb down left, go back to the home base at the 1. And then they're going to start over, and then they're going to climb up left all the way, and then climb back right. But you only have to go over the 1 mountain. So that's the end of this. The next up would be for your second portion, the second program, which is going to be Lab03. So I'll end it right there.